Hey everybody, day 12 and welcome back. It is all about fear today. Do you have fear? Any type of fear, any type of roadblock that you might have with writing your book, we are going to talk about today. So let's begin. Hey everybody, welcome back to day 12. My name is Garrett Pearson, author of How to Write a Book ASAP. If you're just joining us, I want to welcome you. If you've been with us from day one, then thank you so much. I hope you've been learning and getting excited about writing your book. Today we're going to be talking about fear. Okay, more than likely you have some type of fear or some type of roadblock that's going to get in the way of you finishing that book. So today I want to teach you a little step, a little tip, a little strategy that I use to overcome my fear. Before I do that, I want to tell you about some of the fears that I had when I first set out to write my first book, What Success Takes. The first fear I had was, I'm not a good writer. In fact, in English, back in the day, in elementary, junior high, high school, university, I was terrible at English. I was a terrible writer. I got C's and D's in my English class. Okay? This was a huge fear. What if I couldn't write? What if people made fun of me? What if I made spelling errors? That was a huge fear. And if you have that same fear, it's okay, because guess what? I overcame it. I sat down, I wrote the book, errors and all, grammatical errors, sentence structure, punctuation, you name it, I've done it every step of the way. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter. Okay? You, at the end, when you have your rough draft done, you're going to get a proofreader, or you're going to proofread it yourself. You're going to get a copy editor, and I teach that throughout my training, author success training program of how to do that. But it doesn't matter, because you can get somebody else to change all your problems. Okay? That was one of my biggest fears. The next biggest fear that I had was time. Okay? And then back in day 4, I believe we talked about the issue of time. It was either day 4 or day 5. We talked about how to overcome the roadblock of time, not enough time to write. This was a big fear that I had. We just had a baby. I was starting a new business. You know, I was doing busy things. I was always busy. How was I going to write a book? Okay? Well, I overcame that because I created a plan and a strategy for myself. And if you've been watching all these videos, then you know how to overcome that roadblock or that fear of not having enough time. You have to make the time. Another fear I had was, what if people don't like my book? Okay? What if people don't like my book? That's a fear that I just had to get over. I had to say, screw it. Pardon the French, but I just had to say, who cares? You know, this came from my heart. I'm writing this to help other people, or if you're writing fiction, I'm writing this to entertain other people, and you can't let the fear of what others are going to think stop you from finishing your book, because guess what? Nobody's going to be able to give you criticism if the book isn't finished. So just finish the book, let the criticism come, because it will, and just say, screw it. Okay? Those are the 3 fears that I had. I had many others. So here's the tip for you to overcome some of the fears you have. You need to sit down, okay? Sit down and really research your mind. What are some of the roadblocks that you believe are going to come up through your writing process or before you even start? What are some of the fears and roadblocks that you already have right now? Is it time, like me? Okay? Write it down. I don't have enough time. Are you scared that people won't like your book? Write it down. Are you worried that you won't become a New York Times bestseller? Okay, write down all these fears that you have. Okay, maybe a fear is that you feel like you won't be able to finish. Well, if that's a fear, then you need to write that down. Write them all down and study them. Now, to the right of those, after you've written them down or under them, tell yourself how you're going to overcome that fear. Okay, what are you going to do when that fear creeps back into your mind? What are you going to do when that roadblock comes across when you're doing your writing process, when you're actually writing your book and trying to finish that book? What are you going to do? How are you going to overcome it? Okay? Write those things down. Write those things down that you're going to combat. Okay? How you're going to combat those fears. Now this is really going to help you be ready for those roadblocks and fears that come into your mind, and some of those that are already in your mind. Write them down and face them. Okay? Face them. One of my favorite quotes and favorite books, for that matter, is by Dr. Susan Jeffers. And she says, feel the fear and do it anyway. Okay? Feel the fear and do it anyway. Face that fear, guys. Get over it and just get going. Okay? Keep on moving, keep on trucking. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the writing process. We're going to be starting that writing process. Okay, and over the next couple weeks or the next last days to getting to the 30-day mark, we're going to be really talking about the writing process, how to create a title, how to write your book, how to publish your book. Okay, so we're into the meat. So you need to face these fears and do it anyway. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a comment below. Tell us what your fears are. Share this with your friends. And day 13 is tomorrow.